It's time to turn up your energy level and learn how to soar at any age through personal fitness, eating well, living healthy, and staying positive. Come on in and have a seat. Turn up the dial. We're going to have a good time. Welcome to Have a Healthy Day. Now, here's your host, international fitness and nutrition guru, Patricia Valenti.
Welcome back to Have a Healthy Day. I'm Patricia Valenti, and you're listening to Have a Healthy Day. Today we have a very special topic. It is nutrition. Nutrition is very important to me. It's more important than anything, more important than working out. Gives you your energy. It gives you vitality, longevity, your wellness. Anything to do with being healthy revolves around nutrition, what you put in your body. So I am very honored to have Donna DeCunzo Taddeo. Donna has many, many credentials, and just to name a few, she's a registered dietitian, wellness coach. She's a current member of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietitians, which was formerly known as the American Dietetic Association. She is also co-creator of eDiets.com, and that was the first online nutrition and wellness program created back in '96. So Donna has been around and has seen everything. I know I've been with you where you get questions all the time about, what's healthy to eat, what's not healthy. There's all these new things going on with gluten-free and paleo and so many things to cover. What can you share with us today to the listeners out there about how can we be healthy and what are some good foods to eat?
Well, first of all, Patricia, thank you so much for having me. I'm actually honored to be here. And, of course, this is an area that I absolutely love to talk about. So thank you for inviting me.
Well, I know your time's valuable, so I'm just so grateful that you're here and you have so much wisdom to share with us. What would you like to start with?
Well, as of lately, it seems that the breakthroughs and the scientific data that's coming in is just evolving exponentially compared to when I first started back in 1994. It seems every day actually every hour, there's a new breakthrough in nutrition, the area of nutrition and health, and with the...
Very true. I mean, online you could find anything, and some of the information online is not accurate, and some of it is very helpful. But you're right. There's just so many new things out there, and what did you want to say about that?
Well, you know what? You're right. And the internet both helps and hurts us. Okay. It helps us because when the latest research comes out, we're able to read about it and get the information much, much quicker. However, if a study comes out and potentially the wrong person, when I say wrong person, maybe somebody without a background in nutrition, picks it up and they're, say, a blogger or a reporter for a smaller publication.
Good point, right.
They read the study and perhaps they may misinterpret it, put it out on the web, and then all of a sudden other people start picking up on it and start repeating it as if it was true. And now you're spreading almost like a myth.
Right.
So that's an issue. And recently they've even picked up where credentialed reporters were picking up misinformation.
Oh, wow.
So it's very important, and I urge your listeners too, when you hear something, do a little bit of your own research as well. Ask the questions. Well, wait a minute, how big was the study?
The data is important.
Yeah, exactly. And who's behind the study? Who's funding the study?
Right, yeah, sometimes they're slanted that way, too.
Right. For example, everybody's asking me now, blueberries, right? Blueberries are superfood.
Right, I've heard about blueberries, yes.
Right, and blueberries they're great for you. However, the reason why blueberries were pushed out into the front was the Wild Blueberry Association got together and decided, we need to, blueberries aren't selling as well as we want to, and they're very perishable. We need to market the program. And are they a great food? Absolutely. Are they the best food? Should they be isolated and all you should eat are blueberries? No. So they did a tremendous marketing campaign, and now you hear everybody talking about blueberries. So that's really how it works. If Hershey comes out and promotes, because a study comes out on dark chocolate, and promotes, all
Right.
the benefits
Dark
of dark
chocolate. I love dark
chocolate.
chocolate.
However, maybe, and I don't want to single out a company. It could
Right.
be XYZ chocolate company. However, they decide that they're going to put a bunch of bars on the market and just a little bit of dark chocolate in there that has been processed and
If
modified.
the higher the chocolate, like 85% cocoa is better, is that right?
Yes,
From what I
and
heard.
also non-processed. So if you have a very high cacao, percentage in your
Yeah.
chocolate, but it's all processed, then you're not really getting
right,
the
because
benefits.
you're getting all that sugared as well.
Right. And same thing with blueberries. All of a sudden now you go down the cereal aisle, everything has blueberries. Whether
Right.
it's true blueberries, probably not. More or
Oh,
less.
the prepackaged stuff is
Exactly.
right. Clearly. Well, one question I know about blueberries. Does the organic make a big difference with the blueberries? The pesticides staying on the skin of them?
Well, here's what my rule for organic is. I strongly believe in organic. It is sometimes more expensive. However, you don't have to get everything organic. If something has a very thin skin, such as blueberries, strawberries,
Right, then it's worth it.
Then it's definitely worth it.
Like a banana would be silly because you peel the skin off, right? Why pay more?
And even sweet potatoes. You don't necessarily...
Oh, I do get organic sweet
Yeah,
potatoes because
well-
I eat the skin.
Well, if you scrub them really well, and
Okay.
since they're under the ground, it's not. They don't really. I mean, you can get these sweet potatoes, but it's not. If you're watching your dollars,
Right.
You're more. It would be more beneficial to get the thinner skinned items organic.
Right. Like I know, like strawberries is one of the most porous, right?
Correct.
That absorbs something. That I would definitely get organic.
Yes.
But okay, good to know. Because organic, it is more, but it's worth your health. Is the way I look at it.
Yes.
It's worth
Absolutely. Especially with now, when it comes to weight loss or wellness, they're finding out that some additives in our food, whether it be processed or pesticides or things like that, can be interfering with our hormones, and they cause a whole slew of
Wow.
issues.
You know what I just learned? I know this is unrelated again, but the bottled water. I heard that has a preservative in it. Have you heard about that? That builds up after time, people that drink a lot of bottled water?
Well, as you mentioned before, I have been around a long time, and if you would have told me, if you would have told me in the '80s that people were going to spend money on bottled water,
Right.
I would have laughed at you. However, just like we talked about, the media and everybody picks up on something, and now it's the latest, greatest thing.
Yeah.
They spoke about the harmful effects of certain tap water, and everybody got into bottled water. However, as you know, not
Yeah.
all bottled water is created equal. So what I recommend, if you're going to have bottled water, first of all, and it's hard in the gym to carry a glass container, but glass is the best way.
Okay.
Or the
Definitely BPA free for
right,
sure.
BPA
Yeah.
free. But distilled or reversed osmosis
Yeah.
is actually the best. Some of the water that you buy on the market is simply tap water.
But I thought the distilled is missing some of the minerals that you may need. Is that?
Well, there are minerals in water, but they're so trace. They're so small that
Doesn't really
really you
matter.
don't know. You're getting minerals from food,
Okay.
and you're getting minerals from, if you take any supplements,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. But you really don't get minerals. Like somebody says, well, there's sodium in water. It's such a small amount.
Right.
It wouldn't even affect you.
So is it better to get like filtered water rather than a bottled water, though? I mean, if you were...
It depends on the filter. You
Okay.
have to have the filter changed. Distilled or reverse osmosis is really the best.
Okay. And some cities even have reverse osmosis in their drinking. I know Boca Raton does.
And let me tell you a little bit of a secret.
What?
When you go to a restaurant, they always ask you bottled or tap.
Right.
Say tap, because every restaurant has filtered water.
That's what I thought. Sure, right? For those soda machines? Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
good point.
Yeah.
That's why in Starbucks as well, I get a cup of water on the side rather than bottled water, and it's better because Starbucks even has triple filtered water.
Yes,
Because that's why
exactly.
their coffee is so
Exactly
good.
right.
Just did a plug for Starbucks. But okay, I didn't mean to get off on track. I know you have so much about healthy things to eat, and what else did you want to share with us about nutrition and...
Well, like you said, a lot of people ask me, what should I eat to be healthy? But I must tell you that it's not really what you eat. It's not what your behaviors are towards food, or how much you exercise, how much sleep you have, how active you are, how happy you are, how much you control your stress, how your relationships are. It's none of those.
No?
Actually, it's all of those.
Okay. Not anyone in particular,
It's
though.
not anyone in particular. You need everything in balance in order to have a healthy and a happy life.
Okay.
So, but since my area is nutrition, we can focus on the nutrition part today. nutrition is very exciting, and it's more exciting, like I said, recently because of the exponential breakthroughs that are happening. In fact, within the next 10 years, they're going to be able to test your DNA and determine specifically what diet works for you.
Oh, is that right? So we're all different as far as
We're all
what we
different.
need. Okay.
Another breakthrough that they're coming out with, and that area happens to be called nutrigenomics. Another finding that came out of this research is that they used to think that DNA was static.
Mm-hmm.
You had your DNA, you had your genetics, and that's it. You're stuck with it. But through research and through studying how diet affects individuals, they found that you can actually change your DNA by the type of foods that you eat.
Oh, that is really very interesting, because people think, oh, I'm prone to cancer or to being overweight, diabetes, because it's in my family. You're saying that actually the nutrition that you can change?
The nutrition can actually turn on or turn off or change the DNA. This is the latest area where everybody is studying, and this is my
that is really
this is
good
my
to know.
love right now.
So that is really good news for a lot of people.
Sure. Yeah, you're not, genetics. Listen, everybody has a certain genetic predisposition that they've been born with, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's destiny.
Mm-hmm.
What you eat, how you take care of yourself, your stress levels, your environment, etc., play a very large role.
Right.
So if you are prone to something, it's kind of good to know, because then you know what to, improve in your lifestyle.
Right. That's very good to know. Wow, because you hear it all the time. People say, "Oh, my mother was overweight and my grandmother was overweight, and that's why I'm overweight." But
Yes.
It's good that you do have control of changing your destiny.
Definitely. You definitely do. Just because you're predisposed to something doesn't necessarily mean that you will be a victim of it.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, if you live a healthy lifestyle, there's also a possibility that you would push the chance of getting it later on in life, and potentially the disease outlives you. So in other words,
good, yeah.
Yeah, so you push it on to the
Right.
later years.
Good to know. Well, everybody's been talking about gluten-free. Do you think it's really something to that gluten-free?
Well, let me talk to you a little bit about gluten-free. First of all, a lot of people don't even know what gluten is. Gluten is simply a protein that's found in wheat.
Okay, like in bread mostly, is that right? Or something else?
Many products, anything that has wheat basically has gluten.
Okay.
There's a very tiny, and I'm sorry that I don't know the exact statistic, I think it's somewhere around 5% of the population have celiac disease.
Oh, I've heard of that, yes.
Those people definitely need to avoid gluten. What some people are claiming to have are gluten sensitivities, where they're saying, when I stop eating foods with gluten, I'm not bloated, et cetera, et cetera.
That's true. I had a gluten-free pizza, and I felt better than a regular pizza. I wasn't as bloated. So is it easier on your digestion?
You can have a sensitivity to wheat. It may not necessarily be gluten. It could be that the wheat upsets your stomach and it's hard to digest. So I'm not speaking badly of gluten-free.
Okay.
I'm actually, I tell people, keep a food record and keep a record also of your symptoms. So, for example, if you had, let's say, pizza for lunch, and either a couple of hours later or the next day you're bloated and you're having GI distress, gastrointestinal problems, try to track back and say, oh, I did eat a lot of wheat, or I ate a lot of lactose. So it's not necessarily that you have to get rid of all the dairy. Some people could have dairy. Right. Some people can have wheat. But if you're bloated and you have certain symptoms, then you can try an elimination diet.
Right.
Here's the issue, what I have with the gluten-free diet. It almost reminds me of, and you probably remember this back in the day, do you remember when the whole fat-free thing came out? The whole fat-free movement, and all the companies responded.
Everything's advertised fat-free.
Right, and they started creating products that were fat-free. Snackwell came out with these magical...
And everybody thinks it's healthy because it's fat-free.
Right. And what was happening was they were finding that people were gaining weight. Why were they gaining weight? They were gaining weight because these people never ate cookies to begin with, but now that they were fat-free, they started eating them.
Oh!
I am seeing the same thing with gluten-free.
Okay.
People don't snack on pretzels. They may not eat, pasta, or they may not eat bread ordinarily. But now, with all the gluten-free products, they're adding them into their program. They're gaining weight.
Okay. So
it's pretty interesting. And the other aspect of that is the products that are coming out, the gluten-free products on the market are coming out in response to consumer demand, not necessarily because research is showing that people have gluten-free. What drives the food industry, and this is really something important for your listeners to know, they know it already. What really drives the food industry are people like us. We are the ones who put out there what we want, and they either have to respond or, they'll lose money. So since the consumers got on this whole bandwagon of gluten-free, there's, a multitude
marketing, advertising is what's bringing it.
Exactly. So, like I said, I have, some of my clients coming in saying, I'm gluten-free and I'm gaining weight. And then when I look at the food record, I'm like, oh, gluten-free brownies. Let me ask you something. 3 weeks ago, before you were gluten-free, how often did you eat brownies? Oh, I didn't eat brownies.
Right. Right. I mean, my training I just don't believe in getting anything that's packaged, made in a factory 12 months ago. Anything that's got a shelf life, I just think is, if you had a choice of, gluten-free muffins with blueberries, you're much healthier just having organic blueberries. Without all because when you read the ingredients on those packages, what I've seen is, oil or corn syrup, or it's got all this extra stuff that you would normally not get if you just got it clean, just got it separate, just had your blueberries and not had them in something prepackaged.
Yes, you are right. In America, and I know, I've traveled to Europe quite a few times in the last 2 years, and it's amazing because Americans demand good prices and quality. And part of what we believe in quality is that it has to have, shelf life. So if we buy something, bring it home, and the next day it goes bad, we're livid. And we go back to the store and we complain. But in Europe, it's kind of like everything is so natural that people only buy for 1 or 2 days,
Right.
The bread doesn't last.
Oh, it's all that preservatives and stuff
Yeah,
they
if
put
you
in
have
it.
bread and it's on your counter for 2 weeks.
It'll get moldy, yeah.
And it doesn't get moldy. That's kind of an issue.
Right. It's right. Good point. I mean, even the organic food doesn't last as long, I notice. If I get organic strawberries and they get all moldy and slimy in a couple days, that's the price you pay. But
my recommendation is buy less. Go to
Right.
even though we're a very busy lifestyle, but maybe buy less and go to the farmers markets where you just run in, run out.
Right.
Or if you have them in shakes and things like that, freeze them.
Right. Good point. Yeah. Actually, that's excellent. Is freezing it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And you actually can buy them frozen. And another trick to that is when you buy frozen berries, they're actually more nutritious in most cases than when you buy them fresh.
That what I heard they're picked at the peak of the season or something like that. Is that why?
They're picked at the correct stage and they're instantly frozen. So now versus they're picked, let's say in California, we're in Florida, so they're picked in
Right.
California. They're not really at the peak.
Right.
They're shipped across the country
These
in
days.
trucks where there's air and there's heat and
Right.
sunlight. And they're
Good to
degraded.
know. So
Yeah.
that frozen can be good. I've seen it at Publix. They have the Green Wise organic, and they're a little pricey, but if it lasts a long time and I could use them in the smoothies, it's worth it.
Exactly.
For now. We're going to take a quick break right now. I'm Patricia Valenti, and you're listening to Have a Healthy Day on the Specialist Radio Network.
Hello?
Hey, I am so worried. I don't know where to turn.
What's wrong?
Well, everyone thinks there's a problem.
What do you mean?
I think something's going on, but I just don't know for sure. All the warning signs are there. He's working late, leaving the room to talk on his cell, and we've had so many strange hang-up calls. I think I need help.
You need to call my friends at City Confidential Investigations.
City Confidential Investigations?
Listen, you have suspicions and you need answers. They offer professional and discreet investigative services. You can call them right now at 1-800-390-1171.
Wait, I'm writing this down. That's 1-800-390-1171.
Or you can visit their website at cityconfidentialinvestigations.com.
CityConfidentialinvestigations.com.
They'll get you answers, discover the truth, and help you get some peace of mind back.
I really need that.
Hey, and it even says here that City Confidential Investigations is female-owned and operated.
That's 1-800-390-1171.
Yep.
Great, thank you so much.
Well, good luck. When you're speaking in public, do you find yourself nervous, feeling unprepared, Searching for the right words, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact? When you need to make your best impression, the Speech Pro Specialist can help. Chris Kettner, aka The Specialist, has coached, consulted, and trained sitting U.S. congressmen, state representatives, city officials, realtors, prosecutors, Fortune 500 corporations, Navy SEALs, and folks just like you who are seeking to improve their speaking skills and professional competence. The Speech Pro Specialist will train you in communication delivery, enunciation, eye contact, facial expression, body language, voice inflection, and all the nuances necessary to make your best impression. Call now for your free consultation at 757-274-6983. That's 757-274-6983. Or visit us on the web at thespeechprospecialist.com. That's thespeechprospecialist.com.
For over 50 years, Eastern Home Builders has been a leader in modular and manufactured homes in Hampton Roads and the surrounding area. Eastern Home Builders comes with 3 generations of Baker family experience. We specialize in custom, factory-built commercial, single-family, and multi-family construction. Our commitment to customer service is unparalleled in the industry. We offer Graceland portable buildings you can rent to own without a credit check, made with the highest quality materials and expert craftsmanship. Need a metal structure? We have a huge selection of Newmart products that are durable, reliable, and affordable. Stop by and see us at 3213 South Military Highway in Chesapeake, Virginia. Or you can browse our website at easternhomebuilders.com. Got a question? Give us a call at 757-485-7002. Eastern Home Builders of Chesapeake, Virginia. We're making your housing dreams come true.
Hi, this is Lauren reaching out to you on behalf of the Voice of Real America. Freedom of religion, speech, the press, and to assemble are First Amendment rights granted to us by the United States Constitution. The Voice of Real America does not take those rights lightly. We will always strive to bring you the truth without bias and without rhetoric. We don't care what side you stand on, unless you're standing in the way of our rights and freedoms. Our sponsors play a big role in helping us reach millions daily. If you're interested in joining forces with the Voice of Real America, please visit us online at thevoiceofrealamerica.com and learn how you can become a proud sponsor and play a strategic role in this increasingly important fight. That's thevoiceofrealamerica.com. You plus us equals we the people. And together we are the Voice of Real America. Thank you and God bless the United States of America.
Welcome back to Have a Healthy Day with your host, international fitness and nutrition guru, Patricia Valenti.
Welcome back to Have a Healthy Day. Donna, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing us all those healthy tips about nutrition and how to be healthy. What else can you tell the listeners out there about how to be healthy and some helpful tips to leave us with?
Well, what I would say is, first of all, when you hear or read about something or your friends are touting, the latest, greatest, do some research on your own. You can go to Google scholarly articles and read the exact research study yourself. You don't have to read the whole research study. You could read the conclusion and, see what the scientists say. But do further research. Find out who funded the research. Is it, the same
company? If it's funded by a certain company, it can be slanted, right? And sometimes there's some bloggers out there that don't really leave accurate information. Is that right?
Correct. But, we know the basics. We know that in order to be healthy, we need, a wide array of vitamins and minerals.
Like lots of colorful fruits and vegetables.
Right. And I always say, eat kind of by the rainbow. Like when you go into the produce section, it's so beautiful with all the different colors. Take advantage of that. When you make a salad, don't only make a green salad. Try to include as many colors as you possibly can.
Red peppers, I heard, were good in the salad.
Sure. Absolutely. Anything in the produce department can be put in a salad. So, including even nuts to get, your healthy fat.
That's a healthy fat, exactly, yes.
Right. So what you want to do maybe is gear more towards whole foods. Get organic when you can. Try to eliminate as much processed and hormone type.
So all the prepackaged stuff with a shelf life, no good.
Well, let me ask you this. If you bought a loaf of bread and left it on the counter for 3 weeks and came back,
it would be moldy.
Well, if it's moldy, that's perfect. If it's not moldy, that's an issue.
Oh, the preservatives. Okay, the preservatives in it are bad for you. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, back in the days when everybody ate whole foods and everything, even in Europe, I've been to Europe quite a few times in the past 2 years, and what I find is Europe is a lot different from the United States in the way that how they view food. In America, we want the most for our money. We want quality, and we want shelf life. So if we buy something, let's say bread or some fruit, and 2 days later it goes bad, we're running back to the store complaining.
Right.
In Europe, people buy fruit to last them 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
That's because there's not so many preservatives and chemicals in the food.
So it's better to do it that way.
Yes.
Okay, so, like I get organic strawberries because I don't want the pesticides on them. But, they go slimy in a couple of days. What are some other options?
Well, when you talk about organic, I try to tell people to, you don't have to get everything organic, but when it comes to berries, like strawberries, blueberries, they have a very thin skin. You definitely want to go towards the organic.
Okay. So it's a waste of money on certain things, certain fruits, like bananas, where you take the skin completely off. We don't need to pay more for that?
Correct.
Okay.
You're exactly right. Now, you can either buy less berries, go more frequently to the market, or you can buy them and freeze them, or you can just buy them frozen.
That's a great option, frozen.
Yes.
That way we can put them in our smoothies, and they actually taste pretty good frozen.
And they're actually more nutritious than most of the time when you buy them fresh.
Really?
Yes.
That's good to know. Why is that?
Well, when the producers grow strawberries, blueberries, any type of berries, or any type of fruit, when they're picking it to freeze it, they pick it right at the peak.
Oh, perfect.
And then they instantly freeze them.
Good to know.
When they're picking fruit to ship, they pick it right before the peak. They put it in they put it in containers. Right. Then they put it in trucks.
The hot trucks.
The heat, the light, right. And the time that it takes to drive maybe from California
to Florida, right?
Florida,
or North Carolina, right?
Right. It ruins kind of some of the nutrition. But versus when it's frozen, it retains the nutrition in there. So don't be afraid to buy frozen fruit or vegetables.
Okay. And the best is like whatever is naturally grown in your area, like the farmer's market. Like I know in Georgia, those Georgia peaches are perfect right off the tree.
Yes.
Is it true it is more nutritional, like right off the tree? Like the sooner it's off the tree, then...
Yes, because it has less time to be affected by the natural elements.
Right.
Also, you want to, people, again, like I say, we want it when we want it and we want it fast. A lot of times, we want to eat food that's not in season. Right. And it's not necessarily as nutritious as it could be. So if you kind of plan your daily diet around what's in season, what's, at the peak season, you're going to get the most nutrition.
Right, that makes sense. Right.
One thing I wanted to mention, though, farmers markets are a great way to buy fruits and vegetables, but even at the farmers market, you need to be careful, and you have to ask them if they were grown locally, because we have a lot of farmers markets here, and I say, oh, wow, this is great. Where's this grown? And they'll say, Costa Rica.
Oh, my goodness.
So
that actually just happened to me. They had a stand, and it was these beautiful big tomatoes. And I said, oh, where are these grown? And they said, Tennessee. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Tennessee big boys, they called them. I'm like, oh, well, that's good to know, but I'm not in Tennessee right now. So, yeah. Okay, so farmer's market is not necessarily grown right there.
Well, it's a great way to shop, but just make sure that you ask the questions,
Right, good to know. Well, if people have questions to ask you about nutrition or about anything, how can they reach out to you and find you?
You can take a look at my website. It's justaskdonna.com.
Justaskdonna.com.
And you can actually send me an email. You can send it to donna@justaskdonna.com.
Good to know. Well, thank you so much, Donna. I can't thank you enough for sharing with us all the helpful tips of how to be the best we can be. Thank you for you're listening to Have a Healthy Day on the Specialist Radio Network. Don't forget to visit my website at haveahealthyday.net.
You've been listening to Have a Healthy Day with Patricia Valenti on the Specialist Radio Network. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion, send it to us by visiting our website online at haveahealthyday.net. Have a Healthy Day is a division of the Specialist Radio Network. On behalf of Patricia Valenti and the staff, a big thank you to all of our sponsors and listeners. Join us next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a healthy day. It's